Mhm.
Good afternoon. Jeez. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. If you could please, we'll start with put your first and last name and email address in the chat box, follow up. And then the question of the day while everybody's coming in is, what are the top 3 most popular Halloween candy? What is everybody's guess? One of them might surprise you. Sure surprised me when I found out. What's anybody's guess? You can either type it. Oh, we got some Tootsie Rolls, Snickers. These are some good ones. I'm going to let you know both of those are not on the list of the top 3. Tootsie Rolls, Chrissy, come on. That's old school, girl. Hey, Heath Bars. That one is not on the list as well. Candy corn, nope. Swedish fish, nope. These are good ones. M&M's, Smarties. Lori, you got number 2. Twix, no. Kit Kat, that would be a good one, you would think, but it's not. That's the most interaction I've ever gotten from any of you. I like it. Dum Dums, any full-size candy bar. I mean, those are the houses I went to. Laffy Taffy, Dum Dums, no. Only one person's got one. So the number 2 of the top 3 most popular candies is M&M's. We got to figure out what's number 1 and number 3. And it looks like number 1 was just put into the chat. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is number 1. Good job. What do you think number 3 is? This one's a weird one that I didn't think would be it. It's an old school one. Kind of old school. No Sour Patch, but those are good. You guys are making me crave some candy. Good thing it's Halloween coming up. Laffy Taffy. No, that is a good old one though. So, all right, you guys did really good. So I appreciate you all contributing, not lollipops. So the number 1 of the top 3 is Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Number 2 is M&M's. And number 3, drum roll please, hot tamales. Who would have guessed hot tamales? I didn't. I used to take handfuls of those as a kid, but you know, that's that. So it started to quiet down in the waiting room. Sorry, can't think of my words as usual. Those that just came in, please put your first, last name, and email address into the chat box so that way I can make sure you get any follow-up information. And I'm going to hand it over to Melissa, who also works with ECPAC. And she's going to talk to you all about our family service side.
Yep, I'm gonna get everything closed out, and so I did not do that before, and nobody wants to look at all my. There we go. All right. During the pandemic, I did almost all virtual classes, but it's amazing how quickly you forget to use Zoom. But good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. I know a few of you, hi Charlotte, that are on the call today, but I just want to do a little overview about the programming and things we have going on this part of our work and how we're supporting families at our resource center. So I'm Melissa Santizo. I'm the lead family support specialist at our Family and Support Center here in Commerce City, where we provide lots of different resources and connections for our families that I will go through today. Would you like to, should we do an icebreaker, Amanda? How do you feel about that? That so good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do, if anybody wants to unmute and just share your name and maybe a small resource that you're sharing with your families. It could be anything. It could be a local family clinic. It could be a food bank. It could be really anything that you'd like to share with your families. The first person who is not at Tech Staff is Charlotte. So I'm going to pick on you today.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Phelps. I'm with Charlotte's Childcare. One of the things, well, there's a few that I always share with my families, especially this time of year, is Food Bank of the Rockies. They are so fantastic. They give pretty much everything you need for Thanksgiving. They give them a turkey, the stuffing, the canned vegetables, milk, evaporated milk. So they get all the fixings for Thanksgiving as well as fresh produce and stuff like that throughout the week. So, and then with that is We Cycle. So a lot of my families are struggling for those material products like diapers, ointments, wipes, stuff like that. We Cycle will help with those. So usually those are stationed right next to Food Bank of the Rockies at certain locations. So I just keep them informed of where and when they are. Facebook used to be really, really good about updating it. And lately I feel like they're dropping the ball on that. But other than that, I love them. Did I answer all the questions?
Yeah. Yes, you totally did. Thank you for bringing that up. Thanksgiving.
You're welcome. And here's Gary too. So hi, Melissa.
Hi, Gary. Very good. Would anybody else like to share? Even one or two more people that would like to share, I would love that.
I have a follow-up on what she just said. And so thank you for that information, Food Bank of the Rockies. I am a new provider. And so I don't know if those of us in the Adams County, we qualify as a new program.
And Food Bank of the Rockies is in every county. They travel. So just go on to foodofthebankoftherockies.org. I think it's .org. It might be .com, but I'm pretty sure it might be .org. But they have a whole Facebook. They have a whole calendar, and they have different cities: Aurora, Wheat Ridge, Lakewood. They're in all the metro areas. So if that helps you out, because I'm not sure where you're located.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure this is only like metro area, but I haven't heard them over the ravine, like in Grand Junction or anything, but I'm sure they're there too.
Thank you.
Very good. And then I would be happy to send out a list of all the local food banks in Adams County, Anne, if that would be helpful to you. And so,
very much. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah. And anything I provide here, I can definitely email over to you guys. You guys can text pictures over. Referring families, we'll talk a little bit about that during the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you all for sharing. Very good. So this is a bilingual slideshow. So we'll just pass over the Spanish. We'll go straight into the English. Today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about our resource center in Commerce City, some classes and groups that we provide for parents and caregivers. I'll talk a little bit about mental health services, and then our Family and Caregiver Advisory Council as well. So first things first, this flyer I will email out to all of you guys. Amanda, can you make sure that I get an email list for all the providers on today? Perfect. So some typical supports that we have here in our center are going to be diapers, wipes, diaper cream. We have household and hygiene items. Oftentimes these are going to be things that you cannot access at a food bank. So some food banks do have some diapers. We do give a bigger pack of diapers here at our resource center. We also want to make sure that we're connecting families to the appropriate resources and making referrals that really makes sense for families. But some of those more common referrals are going to be clothing, which is provided by a Precious Child. We have clothing here in our center, and we also do a voucher for our families. We can do some child development assessments. So if parents are feeling like their kids might be delayed or behind in any way, we're happy to do that part, but also referring out to early intervention and North Metro Community Services if we feel that that is appropriate, and families are really on board with that. Some other supports that we do, we are really growing with communities. We want to make sure that our families are really seen in our communities, and we want to make sure that we're holding focus groups and getting real input from families on what they need. As we know, sometimes, sorry, I'm just now seeing your hand up, Amanda. But we want to make sure that we know what families really need and want in the communities. And we also want to have that person-to-person connection. Warm handoffs is something we talk about a lot. We want to make sure that families are accessing these services and are following through with them. At our center, we have about a 75% follow-up rate with our referrals. And that's really, really promising to make sure that those families are getting access to those services. Amanda?
I'm so sorry, but a lot of people are having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, no.
I just didn't want to interrupt you. You were going on a good roll, and I was like, But a couple of people are saying they're having a hard time hearing you.
Okay. Can you guys hear me a little bit better now?
A little bit.
Can you tell me? A little bit.
I can
also, do you want me to just talk really, really loud? Does this help if I'm louder? I cannot hear from my computer. I can disconnect this and use my computer audio, but I won't be able to hear well for questions. I may have to. Can you guys hear me a bit better now? Okay, perfect. Should I start over on this slide here? Would that be helpful to everybody?
Anybody want to comment if you feel like we should?
Yes, please.
There you go.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
So I apologize for that. I have headphones that are ordered and on the way. So some typical supports that we're really providing for families are going to be things that you can't access at a lot of food banks. A lot of food banks are changing, and they do provide some of these things, but diapers, wipes, shampoo, disinfectant wipes, these really basic items that families often do not have access to at food banks and other resource centers. So we want to make sure that they have access to those things. And we also want to make appropriate referrals for family. So part of that resource connection is making sure families really are getting the service that they want. I think a really good example of that would be a mental health referral when they really need a referral for psychiatry. So thinking along those things, we don't want to send a mental health referral if they already have mental health services happening when they really have another need in their mental health world. So some other referrals that we do are going to be for our basic needs. A Precious Child, we have some clothes here at our center that families can grab and access if they are in need of clothes right now. Oftentimes those appointments can come in the future, so it can be 1, 2, or 3 months out, and we want them to have access to clothing that they need right now. So we do have that on hand here at the center. I'll show you guys some pictures here in a few minutes. And we can also write those referrals. We also do child development assessments, so we can do that here in the office. We always want our families to talk to their pediatricians, but sometimes that's not accessible. And also sending those referrals out to North Metro and early intervention. A big part of what we do here at our center is homelessness prevention. And so we do have partners who work in transitional housing. We're able to provide some rental assistance for families, and then some other supports. We're really growing with our communities. We continue to talk to families, have focus groups, and really work on what families really need. Because if we don't hear it from their mouths, we don't know what it is that families need to access. We can always take a guess, but that's not our job to do. And we want to make sure that we have this person-to-person connection with our clients, that we are doing warm handoffs. If Anne has a family who needs access to household items, Anne can say, hey, I just met Melissa last week at ECPEC, and she supports families in doing this. It's going to be an easier handoff. I'm always happy to call them. I'm always happy to meet up with you guys. We have 3 other family support specialists on staff. We want to make sure that families are accessing those referrals and those community resources, but also that they're able to follow through, and it's something that is going to help their family. Very good. So here is a little picture of our resource room. That first one is our lobby, where we just want all of our families to feel welcome when they come in. We have a small food bank in our center. So oftentimes we want to refer out to bigger food banks so that families are getting lots of food for their family. However, we want to make sure that the families who are coming, maybe on a Thursday afternoon, and they're not going to be able to get to a food bank until Monday, that they do have food and those resources for their family until they're able to access those food banks. And you can see our childcare room here. We provide lots of parenting classes and supports. We meet families in this room, and it's a really great way for our kids to feel welcome and supported in our center as well. So in our building, we call it the Community Campus in Commerce City, or the C4 at South Platte Crossing. If you are familiar, we are at 72nd in Colorado. So this used to be the old Department of Human Services building that was really repurposed for families to have a one-stop shop. In this building, you have the DMV, we have vital records, there's WIC, we have our resource center, we have a pediatric dental clinic, a pediatric health clinic. There's also medicated assisted treatment upstairs as well. So we have lots and lots of organizations here where families are going to come in and they're going to go upstairs and get their kids' well visit done. And then they come downstairs and they go ahead and get their basic needs taken care of, their diapers and shampoo and things. And we do want our families to access this once a month. If families do need more support and they need diapers twice that month or 3 times that month, we always want to meet families where they're at. And we definitely don't want kids to go without diapers or anything like that. So if you do feel a need with your families, please feel free to email any one of us on the family support team, and we're happy to help with that. There is a website, and I will send this out as well. So these are some of the parenting classes we have going on. Most of our parenting classes are bilingual, so they are provided in English and Spanish. This class is called Lena Start, and it's all about developing that language with little ones. All of us know that language and communication, it develops so quickly in those first few years of life that this is a really, really great way for families to learn more about language, but they also put a device on the kiddo 1 day a week. And what that does is it tracks parent words, it tracks those kiddos' words, and it also tracks how many minutes of electronics are playing in our home. So this is a really great way. It's broken down hourly. So parents do have like this idea of where their opportunities are in the day. I can see in the afternoon, there was little to no communication during that time. There weren't very many words. What's something we can do in the afternoon to kind of up those words? It's really fun. It's really easy. Parents really, really engage in this, and it's great that they get to see their own weekly data. And every time I provided this class, it only gets better, because once you see those opportunities, you're able to make those changes as a parent. Our other one is one that we just wrapped up. It's supporting your child's social and emotional needs. This is a really great class because we're really talking about those early social and emotional needs, really easy ways to bring these strategies into the home. We talk a lot about feelings, calming down time, routines, screen time. And what's really great about this class is parents are able to bring ideas that worked for them that maybe could work for another family, or maybe this didn't work and why, and talking through those ideas. So we're really bringing information for 1 week, and then that second week, we're talking about what worked and what didn't, and how to make those changes. And then that first week, a mental health consultant provides that class, and then the second week, the family support wraps around and does services. Another great class for families is the 5 protective factors. This is really a framework that a lot of agencies and organizations are using, and families already have these things. Families are already strong, but sometimes we need to build some of those protective factors. And working with families, working with kiddos, it's a big responsibility, and this is a really great way for families to see the work that's being done in the communities, and also how they can build their own protective factors. Some of those look like asking for help in times of need, social connections. I think we can agree that parents don't have enough opportunities to be with other parents. And we really want to hone in on those so that families continue to use those protective factors that they already have in their families. Circle of Parents Colorado, we are providing a Circle of Parents for those families facing homelessness. Summer is actually providing this class. We also have access to refer out to Circle of Parents in recovery. We support lots and lots of families who are in recovery and getting them the resources and support they need. And one of those supports is peer mentorship, right? We want to make sure that those families have support from other kinds of families. And Circle of Parents is one of those things that is based on those 5 protective factors that we talked about in the last slide. But it also brings responsibility, and these families really do support one another. And really, the Circle of Parents facilitator is just there to facilitate. It's the parents who are doing the real work in these groups. We have an ESL class coming up. It's actually full right now. We may have some space, and I'll let you guys know in the next week. But we do want to help parents further their English skills so they can continue working with their children. Sophia and Brianna were both second English as their second language, are providing this class. They have a lot of knowledge and experience around this, and we want to help our families also help their children. Another class is Read With Me, and this is a really fun 3-week class that we provide, and it's all about strategies. The only purpose of this class is to make reading fun. It's not about reading 30 minutes a day. It's about having really small goals, making them accessible, and having fun when you read. Reading should be enjoyable, and we want kids to participate, and we want kids to have fun. And it's a big piece of bonding and spending time with our kids is through literature. I really like this class because it works for kiddos, for babies, all the way up until I use some of these strategies with my 10-year-old still. So just learning how to ask questions and be present during this time that we get to spend with our kiddos. we are also looking forward to we have a new partnership with WeCycle. Thank you, Charlotte, for sharing that. We are going to have clothes and toys here at the C4, so families can come and get these things. We want families to have access to those. Also, if your families are in need of baby gear, a certain item, please email me. We have a new resource with WeCycle where we're able to get kids toddler beds, cribs, things like this. Last week, Summer went and picked up 2 toddler beds for a family. So if you are hearing about that, we want to support in that way. Sometimes they're going to have it and sometimes they aren't, but we're always going to do our best to get families those things. And then something that, I mentioned earlier is that families don't have a lot of access to social connections. And we know whenever families do have access to their friends, other parents in their communities, they have a better parenting experience. So the first Wednesday of the month here at our center, we are having like a tea party with parents. This coming, I think it's November 1st. I'll look at it. We're actually going to be doing some planting and just spending some time doing that and just talking about needs. And this is a really great opportunity for parents who maybe wouldn't ask for help. They will there because you're really building confidence and trust with others in the community. Then mental health services. So we do have a therapist who works August through May or June with us, and they're able to provide counseling sessions for families. And this could be play therapy, this could be one-on-one therapy, this could be therapy with a teen child. Our therapist is bilingual, so she does speak Spanish and English. So if you are ever interested in something like that, either for yourselves or for your clients, Maria Dross Counseling Center is an amazing mental health organization. I personally have gone to them for years, and I feel very, very supported in my services with them. And it's something I'm so proud to share with the community and our families. And then, like, last but not least, we also have this space for families to engage. We have a family leadership council, and right now they are working on a project all surrounding mental health and getting that mental health in schools to our children. I think that this is such a cool and fantastic ideas for families to get involved in. Families want to know more about mental health services, but they also know what they can do to help their kiddos. Many schools have changed to this therapy-based, have therapy based in the schools, and it's something that helps a lot of families, and families are benefiting from it. So continuing that conversation, there are 2 meetings a month. Families do get compensated for these meetings whenever they come, and they do have in-person and virtual options. And if you have any other questions on that, I'm happy to answer those. And this is our team of family support specialists. However, this is like looking at an old yearbook picture because I don't think I look like that anymore. But this is us, Brianna, myself, Sophia, and Summer. 3 of our family support specialists are bilingual in Spanish and English. And then I know all of you are working so hard with kiddos every single day. And us, we're working with parents over here at the center. But really, whenever you're working with children and we're working with parents, we are both servicing the whole family. And it's so important, every aspect of this work. We couldn't do our piece of this work without all of you as childcare providers who are supporting families who are able to work and provide for their families. And it's such a privilege to be able to work with you all in this, and that we are, as a whole, helping that whole family. And I think it's so important to remember that as we're all working together. And that was really the end of my, I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. Again, so if any of your family,
Oh, she froze. I'll give her a second and see if she'll unfreeze. Has anybody used our resource center before? Sent families there, used it yourself. Oh, there she is. I'll hand it back over to you.
My internet's disappeared for a second. I'm sorry about that. Yes, so if you do have families that you would like to refer, please feel free to email me, text me, or call me. Reaching out to your coaches is also absolutely appropriate. They can get us information, but we do want to be here to support families. Were there any questions? Comments?
These are great resources, and I think that as my center is growing, I will recommend some of these things to parents because everybody needs help. So thank you for bringing these to our attention. And
absolutely. And I think when we think about, supporting families, it's not always about finances. Sometimes it's just like having somebody there to talk to and say, hey, I'm really struggling with XYZ. And sometimes there's just some small piece that we're going to support those families with. So thank you, Anne.
You are doing an amazing job. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you very much. We couldn't do it without all of our community partners and all of our staff to support the work. So thank you, Anne.
You're welcome.
Maybe somebody has a family with specific needs that you'd like to talk about. We're really here to support with the families that you're working with, and we acknowledge that sometimes the hardest part is actually going and getting the help, and we want to take that barrier away from as many families as we can.
I have a couple of examples.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Alicia.
That's okay.
If you want to use them, we can also go to Alicia's. I had a young gal who really needed some help getting her driver's license, or her ID. She got stolen or lost or something, and there's some barriers in the way because of status that we were looking for resources for her. And then I had another person I was working with that why is it slipping my mind? Oh, that really needed some assistance with paying their Excel bill, public service situations.
Yeah, and I think that we're also going into this time where there's going to be like a lot of asks for help. And there definitely is some help for like that utility. Sometimes we do have to hit like a couple of them to kind of help out, but it's always really important to tell families as soon as the need hits, that's whenever we need to be asking for help. Because sometimes those utility bills get into the thousands and it gets really, really challenging to get those ones paid or a portion of them paid. Yeah.
Melissa, I have a family that reached out to me yesterday through email asking for baby proofing stuff for their kitchen. Do we have things like that at the C4? I haven't been asked for that one before.
We don't have that specifically, but we do refer to Safe Care, who provides all of those things, which is a home visitation program. And they come for a few weeks. They provide those baby gates, these baby proofing things, and they work with families, whether it's a new mom or it doesn't matter if you're a new mom or not. I know a lot of programs really base their programming on that first time moms. It's not one of those. So that's a really great resource. So I can get their information and send a referral over if the family would like that, Alicia.
That would be awesome. I'll just contact you about that. Thanks, Melissa.
Of course, of course.
I also wanted to ask and make sure that everyone knows all of these parenting classes are listed on our website, correct? If you go to the ECPAC website, they would all be there in case, say, in a couple months, you're thinking about, oh, I want to see what's available. They can go on the website and look, right?
Absolutely. And we don't have all of these classes all the time. We will run a couple of classes at a time. We try to keep classes going throughout the year. It gets a little bit challenging for November, December because kids are out of school. As you guys know, it gets really tricky. And for us, we have to make sure that like our childcare is in ratio, as you all know. I don't have to tell you guys. That's where it gets a little bit challenging. And then during the summertime, but yeah, we do have classes going pretty much all the time, and they are on our website. If you have signed up for Bright by Text, you'll always get a flyer from our classes if you sign up for Bright by Text, because that is one of the biggest ways that we recruit for classes as well. Following us on Facebook and also just reaching out to one of us is also appropriate.
What is Bright by Text?
Yes. Does anybody know what Bright by Text is? Does anybody not know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so a Bright by Text is a texting service that you sign up for as a parent. So whenever I sign up, I'm going to put my name, my kiddo's name, his birth date, and every resource that somebody puts in there. So we'll put resources in there. Other community organizations are sending information out to families. Sometimes it's about child development, sometimes it's for classes, sometimes it's for a food drive that's in the area. So ECPAC can actually say, hey, we want to send texts out to 80022 Commerce City for this resource, and that will send it out. Now for our classes, it would go to the entire county that of those parents that signed up for them. I get them all the time. I will get a PBS video about something about my 5-year-old's child development. And I believe it's 3 to 5 texts a week, so it's not an overabundance of information, but it gets to the parents in that way. And I will put that also in the follow-up email. I've never had a group of chats this quiet. It must be like the change of season or something. Everybody needs a little mini vacation. Very good. Very good, Mona. You sent some families over to the C4. Where's Mona?
And Chrissy does too, it looks like, so it's good.
Awesome. That is fantastic. And that's what we want. And we are seeing lots and lots of families walk in, and that's exactly what we want. So thank you for sending families over. Yeah.
Anybody else got any more questions or thoughts that you want to put out there? It was a good bunch today. Okay, well, if nobody's got any more questions for Melissa, I'll let you have back your Tuesday. Melissa, you can email me all the stuff and I send a follow-up email after this. That's why I asked for everybody's email address. So that way they can get all that. But I do appreciate everybody taking time out of their day to listen to us talk about our other services other than coaching. Melissa, I really appreciate your time out of your day to come and talk to everybody about your services so that everybody knows. A lot of people didn't know we had that service, so we appreciate that. And I just appreciate everybody and hope you have a great Tuesday before it starts snowing. Apparently, it might snow this weekend, who knows? But thank you, everybody. We really appreciate your time.
Okay, I have a question though.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
on what we have done today, those of us who are new and we are struggling with enrollment, how can you help us?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm saying that those of us, those new providers or new childcare centers that have been open and we are struggling with enrollment, how can you be of help to us?
So I know as far as our part of the work, if your center is updated in Bridge Care, families are going to access that. We use that resource all the time with our families who are looking for openings. So on my end, I don't have any additional answers. Steinman?
And I'm just gonna, sorry, Melissa, people don't know it as Bridge Care. It's our Adams Child Care website that you're supposed to update your profiles. I believe you get an email from Megan all the time saying, please update how many openings you have, because that's how parents are really starting to look for facilities. And then honestly, posting it on your Facebook, getting on Nextdoor is always a good idea for your area. Just trying anything out there. Everybody's kind of having a hard time with certain enrollments depending on the age group too. If anybody's got any other ideas how you're getting enrollment up or how to help with enrollment, that'd be great to put out there. Nicole put promoting at community events. Thank you, Nicole. Just getting your name out there. If you are like your house is, I don't know if where your center is, if it's a house, an in-home center, or if it's a center, you could always post big, what is the word I want to say, like flyer on your gates or your fences so that people can see it, flyers at the library. I know out where I live, there's a community coffee house. You can always post it on those bulletin boards. Starbucks sometimes let you do that. Sometimes Safeway and stuff does that. I don't know if they still do. I'm sure they still do.
They don't do that since COVID. They don't
Gotcha.
let us do that. Even Safeway, Starbucks, Walmart, everywhere. Since COVID, they stopped that.
Okay. Little shops might let you. I know my little coffee house still lets us. So
Got you. Thank you. Yeah, I will try to do that.
yeah. I see community boards at community centers and other employers.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. Sorry you're having a hard time filling up at the moment. Hopefully that'll get better.
You will.
Sometimes it takes time. Somebody also put asking a small business if you can place flyers in their shopping bags. Thank you everybody for the help with that. Appreciate it.